Warning: the opinions expressed in this video do not represent YouTube, associations, agencies, or any particular individuals. They are merely from two guys needing to pass the boredom of their average day lives. Some explicit content may occur in this or future presentations. Viewer discretion may be advised, but ignored if you're into that thing. Hey everybody, I'm Wild Man Wes.
And I'm the Big Bad Wolf Benny.
And welcome to part 2 of our Mortal Kombat review on the Wild Wolf Show. Well, last time we basically did a review on the first Mortal Kombat from 1995. Now we're going to move on to 1997 with the, I would have to say, bastard stepchild of the franchise, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Oh boy.
Ooh, again, now we went into this movie with high hopes.
Yes, we did.
So imagine, it was 97 when this one came out. I was 8 years old. I saw the first one, excited for the second one to come out. Saw it and just, I think that's when I realized the movie industry could be a bastard sometimes.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed, Mortal Kombat movies were made by New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema is known for doing a lot of franchise movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, Lord of the Rings, and you know,
the list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they even bought the rights to Friday the 13th and did Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason, which we could probably be doing a review on that sometime down the line during Halloween.
If you guys have a movie that you want us to review, like be it a TV show, movie, let us know.
Oh yeah, we'll be glad to do it for you.
Make sure you guys leave us a comment, subscribe, like, share. I mean, come on, we're doing this for people's entertainment, but you gotta get us out there.
We need all the help we can get, and we're willing to help.
But alright, so back to the movie. Think of the movie, similar presence as the first one, slightly tweaked, and not for the better.
No, definitely not for the better.
So you get a new cast. This movie actually does expand on the characters from the game in the movie.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, the recasting of Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade alone really pissed me off.
Let's not forget Lord Raiden. We lose Christopher Lampard, and we get the great James Remore.
Yeah, the good old, let's see,
Ajax
from the Warriors.
Another movie we're going to talk about.
Shove that bat up your ass and turn you into a popsicle.
Oh, God. Sorry, this is how we usually converse, so this is how you guys are going to hear us on our show.
Yeah.
It's our show. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But, so we get a lot of characters that are recast, and, you know, you grow to love them. That's probably the worst thing, is you grow to love them. And then you get characters that I'm not going to ruin the movie for you. You guys go watch it, but they treat some of your characters that are favorites, like they're the bastard stepchild, and it hurts here.
Yeah, it does.
It hurts here.
Yep.
All I'm going to say is, Johnny Cage, they did you wrong.
Yep.
And that's not acceptable.
No.
But alright, so,
And the other thing that got me was, when we mentioned in the last episode of the special effects being bad, it went from bad to worse. I mean,
with the exception of, like we said, Goro, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with him. Shiva comes in, she's from the same race he is, she got the 4 arms, and she looks completely
and we'll get on to that. We'll get back to that later on in our top 5s.
Some, there's so many bad things they did with this movie, it was hard for us to find the good things.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching it, I mean, the first one, the plot, as we said before, from the first film, kind of had nods to movies like Bloodsport and especially Enter the Dragon. This one, I have no fucking idea what they were trying to do with this one.
You know what they did? They came to the future and heard our first review and said they tried to be too, keep with that trope. They saw the first video and they're like, we're going to switch it up for these guys. They went back in time and they just completely fucked it up.
Those bastards.
Sons of bitches. I knew time travel was possible.
Yeah. Well, in this one, we're going to keep it pretty short and sweet because we might have, babbled on a little bit with the plot. So basically...
Well, that's what happens when you start drinking in the morning. You kind of forget about time. It happens.
Yeah, so basically in this one, Shao Kahn comes to try to take over, even though Earthrealm won the first the 10th Mortal Kombat.
So they should be good for 10 generations.
But Shao Kahn's going to be a whiny little shit about it, and he decides he's just going to take it over anyways.
And he brings his, elder god daddy, Shinnok, and they did him terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the whole thing about Shao Kahn and Raiden being brothers, that was kind of...
I mean, you knew Raiden was probably related to somebody, but did it have to be Shao Kahn?
He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Nah, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, we're going to keep it nice and short, simple. Oh, God, the CGI, guys, it did not get better.
No, it didn't.
It was a 2-year difference. It didn't get better.
No.
I had high hopes. I'm like, it's got to look better than the first one.
No, it wasn't. So, with that being said, we're just going to cut to the point, we're going to do our top 5 good and bad of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Number 5 on the top 5 is, for good, you had mentioned it a little bit earlier, Shiva's look.
The Shiva look, oh my lord. She was definitely played by an actress in this one that you could tell, you know, she was organic.
Yeah, and
it looked really good.
She didn't look like a Muppet.
No, she looked, you know, like that Ray should look if they were real. You know, she was a Shokan, you know, half dragon and like half human or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, and at least
arms, like, they looked good.
The forearms,
they looked good. I think the effect they used, I don't know if they had just, they took the arms up here and then they doubled them down here. You know, they do the whole arm cross.
It didn't look clunky like Goro in the first
Goro
one.
it looked like it was very hard for Goro to move. Shiva, we don't get to see a lot of her in action, but we get to see her for a brief part in the beginning where she's kind of just standing there. She's like trying to intimidate Earthrealm. She's like doing this thing back and forth, and all the arms look good. They actually look like
even the acting performance was pretty badass. She was intimidating.
She kicked my ass. I mean, she got 4 arms.
I'll let her kick my ass too.
I mean, probably kicked my ass with just 2 arms, but hey, it was well done. Like that's probably what saved this movie for me. Was I'm like, all right, well, you took a bad character from the first movie and you upgraded them. They looked good. So I mean, props to them for that. Hell yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely give them that good little check mark, a little smiley face for special effects on this one. Our 4th pick on our top 5 good moments of Mortal Kombat Annihilation happens when Sonya Blade comes to rescue Jax from a little compound facility where he's getting his bionic arms. Now in Mortal Kombat 2, Jax didn't have his little bionic arms, but in Mortal Kombat 3 he happened to get these enhancements. So plus this, well, in Annihilation they pretty much mixed 2 and 3 together. So they pretty much decided to jump the shark in a good way. They jumped the shark in a good way.
It was good. It worked. It was cool. Like it looks really good. Like I said, the effects looked really good. When he actually has a fight later with Mintaro, you actually get to see him do one of his signature grounds, you know, smashes the ground, does a little earthquake. The effect doesn't look good, but him doing it looks good.
But the best part about it is when Sonya and Jax are having their nice little conversation, nice little reunion, we get a big explosion. Not Michael Bay explosion, even though Michael Bay, I'm sorry, you know, but the explosion was good. It was real.
It was good. It was real.
And we reveal one of the cyber ninjas, Cyrax.
Oh, the yellow one. Everybody loves this guy.
And granted, the cyber ninjas in the Mortal Kombat franchise definitely took a little page out of the look of Predator, but it still looked damn good.
It still was cool. I liked it. The fight was cool. Jax does get his ass handed to him, but when he finally does land a blow, he sends this guy a good, 10 to 15 feet across the room just to show you how strong he is. Sonya at the time is fighting a bunch of ninjas, normal ninjas, mind you. Kicks their ass. You get to see some of Cyrax's cool attack. Like he has this one attack where he shoots the acid net, which Sonya barely misses, and she throws one of the ninjas into it, and you just see the clothes. He disintegrates into a pile of bones. It's awesome.
And then of course he tries to do it again on Jax's bionic arms, and he's just
uses that metal arms like nah.
He just looks at him and
the creme de la creme though is...
He just looks at him and says, bitch please, basically.
Creme de la creme is Jax and Sonya do this little combo kick throw move where Cyrax gets thrown across the room. Pipes burst, fires are breaking out. Sonya notices like powder around the ground, and she does one of her signature moves, her little kiss of death thing, where she blows it at him and it sets him on fire. So it was a cool nod to the game. They made it realistic. They didn't try to give her supernatural powers. They kept it realistic. It was a nice nod to the game.
But unfortunately, the downside of the special effects in that moment when they're trying to run away, when the building explodes, you just see them jumping in midair and outside, and it's like, how the hell did they get from outside from that that lab?
It was seconds. Seconds. Like if you time it, I'm pretty sure if we timed it right now, it'd be maybe at most 5 seconds.
At most.
And they get like a good 100 feet away from the building. Movie magic.
So number 3 on our good list would have to be Kitana's fans.
Ooh, yeah. Like I said, in the first movie they screwed up a scorpion spear. In this one, like they hurt us. Like, you know what, we're gonna give them a character's signature weapon. They're gonna look good. First you just see her pull out these metal rods and you're just like, alright, cool, she's got weapons.
And then we pretty much figured out they were gonna be the fans, because in Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, the fans were more, they looked like a regular fan. They didn't really resemble a lot of metallic bladed weapons.
They were awesome. If she would have thrown one, my mind would have been blown. But they knew, you know, 8-year-old me, like, yeah, no, don't do that. We don't want kids' heads to blow. Yeah. So they were smart. But no, it was a good reveal. She blocks a couple weapons, and then she does a classic pose with her fans. It was awesome. It was great. It was really cool. I loved it.
Yeah, I agree on that one because seriously, like you said, you know, with Scorpion Spear, obviously that was full on CGI. This one was actually real props. They looked flawless. I mean,
they looked right out of the game.
Katana, played by let's see, Talicia Soto, I believe it was.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, she has background in martial arts and done a lot of different things. She was in Vampirella. She was also in a James Bond film. I believe it was License to Kill. And then, basically, she plays a great femme fatale in every movie that she's in. And
she's very beautiful to look at. So,
but don't let the beauty fool you. She
beat your ass. Yeah, beat your ass. I'm talking to you right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Our second one, it was going to be a toss-up, but this one, I would say, is probably one of my guilty pleasures, especially being my young adolescent youth.
Oh, yeah.
It would be the mud fight between Sonya Blade and Melina.
Oh, God, yes. Before we even get into the mud fight, that was a great fight. You know, it was two chicks, awesome. You got to see another character with their trademark weapon being, Melina size. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. I kind of wish you would have taken the mask off and we would have seen the Tarkatan thing, but again, they played it smart. Like, you know what? We can't make it look good. Let's not do it. So they didn't do it, so I give them props for that. And then let's get into where they're in the mud. Like, 8-year-old me was just like, what's going on with my body? I don't know what's happening.
I feel funny.
But no. Yes, and then Jax, of course, gives a good line after Sonya beats Melina. You damn girl, you look good in mud. She did.
Yes, she did.
She did.
Even if she was a recast, she looked good in mud.
She looks good. I would like to see Bridget Wilson in the role again for the mud fight, but...
yeah, you can't have everything.
Shouldn't one hand and hope in another. Which one gets full faster?
Very true. So our number one pick on Mortal Kombat Annihilation for the good side would have to be the fight between Shao Kahn and Raiden.
Opening scene, mind you. Because in this scene, Raiden has all his power, so he's still the Thunder God. Throughout the movie, Outworld starts to merge with our realm. As we told you in the first movie, Raiden has no power there. And now we found out why. Because his father, being an elder god and a douchebag, decides if you come back to this realm, since you didn't live up to my expectations, you get no powers.
Yeah, and Shinnok was a punk in Mortal Kombat 4.
He really was.
He wasn't even a good final boss.
No. He was probably one of the worst final bosses.
Actually, if you look...
besides Blaze from Armageddon.
Oh, gosh. I mean, and if you look at any other YouTube channels that have some top 10s or top 5s or whatnot of good or bad characters in Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty sure Shinnok's going to be on one of those lists. So probably a lot.
He's an elder god. He should be one of the harder bosses out there, and he fell flat.
But they did redeem him in Mortal Kombat X, I will say.
They did.
Because they had two different versions of him, basically.
But no, so this first fight, Shao Kahn does get the brief he gets the brief advantage, and then we get to see Raiden, use electrical powers as he's fighting. So every punch he's landing, there's a thunderbolt behind it, and then he does his famous Superman, the Python.
And they actually use the audio track from Mortal Kombat
All you hear
1
is
and 2.
You see the actor James Remore leaping, and then you hear Python, and then it's just awesome. Send Shao Kahn.
Look back on that movie, and then play the game, and then you'll realize they actually used that audio clip, which was genius. And and Shao Kahn actually used his
little skull,
his green spike.
Yeah.
And the only thing that bothered me about that was he used it like he was throwing a fireball, like Ryu in Street Fighter. But in the original games, he shoots it out of his helmet. So I mean, that was a downside, but at the same time, but the battle was great, and unfortunately, that was the only great thing about that movie.
That was. I mean, it's sad. I mean, we like the top 5, but I mean, let's be fair. The mud fight, that's just on there because damn, those girls look good in mud.
Yes, they did. Well, now that we've told you all about the good things,
it's time for the bad.
Yeah, there was a lot to choose from.
It was very hard to choose between a top 5. But I mean, we have so many honorable mentions. You had to go watch the movie, and then you get back to us because then you'll be like, yeah, these two might not be the prettiest, but damn, do they know movies?
So let's get down to the shittiest of the shit. Number 5 on our bad list of Mortal Kombat Annihilation starts off with the death of Johnny Cage. Now, it was bad enough that Lyndon Ashby was recast in this film, and not only that, they kill Johnny Cage off within basically the first 5 to 10 minutes of the film, and Shao Kahn kills him like a punk. He just snaps his neck.
Well, I mean, I thought it was gonna be cool because you see Johnny Cage do his shadow kick again. You're like, sweet dude, yeah. Nah. Shao Kahn counters it, grabs his neck, and then bitches out, you know, kills him. So
yeah.
you don't hear from Johnny again. The only other mention about him in the future, which was pretty funny, was Sonya and Jax are walking. And she's like, nobody gave me a choice about Johnny.
What are you talking about?
And then Jax is like,
who the hell?
And then
who the hell's Johnny?
Yes. So that was a good, funny moment.
Lovers quarrel.
But yes, that was the only other mention of Johnny then after that. So yeah, it's pretty sad. Like, you think it would have been like, you know what else I didn't get? The whole world goes back to normal at the end of the movie. Wouldn't that mean Johnny Cage comes back? Where was that at,
a lot of plot holes. Which,
come on.
Yeah, and speaking of plot holes, we're going to move on to our next bad thing. So our fourth pick on the top 5 bad moments of Mortal Kombat Annihilation is, where the hell is everybody?
Yeah. We hear about, you know, I mean...
They make references, but...
I mean, my biggest thing was, Nightwolf was one of my favorite characters. You see him for 5 minutes, and he does that awesome animality where he changes from his wolf form to his human form.
Though the acting that he delivers is slightly hokey with the whole, pretty cool, huh? It's my animality.
But...
It was dopey, but it was good for what it was.
I mean, that's just a perfect example right there. You add a cool character, and then you just cut him out. Why didn't he join the Earthrealm team? What the hell?
And granted, in the Mortal Kombat universe, we have tons of fighters. Tons of fighters.
And they mention them. We hear about, you know, Stryker and Cabal. Give us a little cutscene with them fighting. They don't have to win.
And even Rain, like Johnny Cage got taken out like a punk. No, Rain is sitting there saying it'll never happen again for the mistakes that he makes.
The only cool thing about how he died was at least we got to see the Emperor with his hammer.
That is true.
So that was cool. He didn't go. He went out like a bitch because he died so easily. But it was cool that we actually got to see Shao Kahn use his famous hammer. That's plus or minus.
Yeah,
guys.
but the death in the fire pits was that was a cop. That was kind of a cop out in this movie.
At least they didn't say fatality.
You know, I believe that. I don't think they ever actually said that.
They don't. They think they learned from the first one.
Yeah,
Again, they saw our first video.
They didn't say flawless victory either. Not that I know of.
So that was kind of cool. The only mention would be the animality. And he really only uses to say what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, even Jade, they only used her for the most part for eye candy when she's trying to seduce Liu Kang and then tries to basically deceive the rest of the heroes in the film. And then, of course, you know, she goes out kind of haphazardly, just getting eaten by a statue or demon?
It was like a statue demon. I don't know. They don't really give you a name, but again, another thing is too, they kind of bring Reptile back when he fights Raiden, but there's 3 of them, so it's not our Reptile. It's kind of and the CGI for that was horrible.
But then again, you know, Reptile in Mortal Kombat could be similar to like the Joker in the Batman comics. There could be multiple ones for all we know.
I mean, let's see, who else did they mention? Or you know, they kind of wasted on Shiva. Another character we were talking about. She was a throwaway character.
Yeah.
She was in the movie for maybe a good 7 minutes, and then they killed her and crushed her with the cage like she was a bug under a shoe.
Yeah. We could have had a lot more, you know, for that.
On the plus side, though, we did get to see the Tarkatan warriors, which, you know, Baraka, the guy, despite the messed up face.
It was a short fight to say the least, but it was good for what it was.
The blades that come out of his hands. That was a cool fight. It really was.
That was a good practical special effect.
It was pretty good special effect. We don't know if it was Baraka. We just know they were Tarkatans. It was just cool to see, you know, more of the storyline from the games come to the movies. Because there's a Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks where you can play as Kung Lao and Liu Kang. And then if you fight a bunch of them.
Yeah, and actually if you play that game enough and actually beat it with Kung Lao or Liu Kang, you can actually unlock the game where you can play Sub-Zero or Scorpion. And actually it's kind of cool, but then the cutscenes are kind of weird. But,
yeah, they're a little different, but hey. You know, that's something we can review in the future. Just let us know. Exactly. Like, comment, share. We're gonna make movies. You might as well just jump on this with us and get along. Yeah. At least you can give a shit then.
Hey, don't bully him, man. It's not nice. So let's move on to our next pile of shit from Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Number 3 on our shitty parts of Mortal Kombat Annihilation has to deal with Raiden. Now, Raiden was great in the first movie. His acting was great. His sarcasm and humor was great. This one, James Raymar was great, but there was one thing that bothered me. Why'd he get a haircut?
Well, but you know what else bothered me? Kind of lost his sense of humor, too. What the hell happened?
I don't know.
Maybe because now he's immortal, he knows he can die. guy, so he lost it. So he kind of went back to that sage-like teacher, which is, it's good, it works.
Well, call it what you want. I want to say that Raiden's haircut basically described him having a midlife crisis.
Basically. I mean, like I said, James Remore is a phenomenal actor. If you've ever seen him anything, I'm sure most people watching this know him as Dexter's dad.
Mm-hmm. He was at the beginning of Pineapple Express as the Pentagon officer when the guy's getting stoned.
Illegal!
Exactly.
Yes. So check out movies with him. They're awesome. There's a couple that we just mentioned.
And
definitely
the Warriors.
Definitely The Warriors is the first one. That was one of his first big breakout roles. Cult classic. They were supposed to be remaking it.
I hope not.
I think they put a hold on that.
They also talked about possibly making it a TV series. So
we'll see.
So our second pile of shit in Mortal Kombat Annihilation has to deal with the animality fight between Liu Kang and Shao Kahn.
Terrible, terrible CGI. Now, if you don't know what
it was unneeded.
It was unneeded, but if you don't know what an animality is from the game, it's when you actually change into your spirit animal or whatever animal represents you. Like, for example, Scorpion turns into a giant scorpion.
Well, not necessarily. In the original ones, in Mortal Kombat 3, they started to bring out the animalities, in which when you defeat your opponent for the second time, and it says finish him, or finish her, sorry, gotta be equal, just making sure.
Correct.
Yes. Anyways, you can do a specific series of button mashing to show mercy, where you can fight them a little bit more. If you perform this, then you perform another move, which is known as the animality. And in Ultimate Mortal Kombat, when Scorpion does his bit, he's not a scorpion. Shiva's a scorpion.
Shiva turns into a scorpion.
Scorpion turns into a penguin, lays an egg, and blows the person up. It made no sense.
They get a little goofy. But, I mean, like I said, Nightwolf, he was a wolf. I mean, you should know that. It's in his name. Again, though, the same thing from Scorpion, though. Look, he just said.
They made a lot of mistakes with Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat with the animalities. However, if you do go on some of the YouTube channels, some people have made Mugen versions of Mortal Kombat where they do ultimate demonstrations where they've actually fixed the problem, where Scorpion actually does turn into a scorpion.
Check those videos out. Maybe in a future video we'll put those links in our video. But for right now, we're still young. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that.
But again, no, this fight, it was, again, CGI at its worst. Like, you could definitely tell Liu Kang was supposed to be a dragon, but you could definitely tell it was not organic.
And Shao Kahn must have been, what, like a Hydra?
A Hydra, I guess? I don't know. He had a long snake-like tail, he had two legs, and then he had multiple heads, so we're going to call it a Hydra.
Yeah.
If you know a better name for it, let us know.
Yeah.
But, like, we're going to go with Hydra versus a dragon, which is basically a dragon versus a many-head snake.
Bottom line is, Reptile 1 in Mortal Kombat 1 was bad.
This is worse.
Yeah, this is worse.
This is worse. When you get to that scene, like, it was kind of cool at first. They show Liu Kang's, like, eyes and stuff, like, turn into, like, a reptilian dragon eyes. Like, that's not terrible. And then you see him transform, and then you're just like, oh, man, you should just stop while you were ahead. They did not.
Yeah, I was dumbfounded.
I was. I mean, that pretty much ruined the movie, was that fight scene.
Well, one more left. One more left. And I'm pretty sure some of you that have actually watched the movie know exactly which one is coming. So number one on our shit salad of Mortal Kombat Annihilation starts the beginning of the movie with the introductory of the villains. We get to Queen Sindel. I'm sure you all know exactly what moment we're talking about. The reveal of Sindel, and Kitana is just dumbfounded.
Kitana basically says, "Mother? I thought you were dead."
And Sindel, with the shittiest acting experience of all, hey, I'm an actor by trade, but I mean, hey, this delivery is just wow. I would make sure I would never do this. She just says, "Too bad you will die."
It was god-awful.
She'd like to thank the Academy for that one, by the way.
Well, you know what? We're just gonna keep it short and sweet on that one. It's just god-awful, people. Watch it, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there are moments in the movie where the acting was, you know, passé to say the least, but yeah, subpar. Oh, but this one takes the cake. This
was
one
a shit sandwich served up to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's our list for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. We hope you enjoyed our little reviews on both Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. If you like what you see, comment below, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'm Wild Man Wes.
And I'm the Big Bad Wolf Benny.
And tune in next time for some more fun times on the Wild Wolf Show.